That's not a boring bar. This is a boring bar. G'day guys, Matt from Howell Heavy Duty. We're an Aussie machine shop that specialises in the drilling industry, and in today's video I'm going to be testing out a brand new boring bar that we made in the last video, made from a railway axle. Now the reason why we had to do this is not just so I can make a cool boring bar for YouTube, it's actually for a specific job. I got the phone call in which was, we need to make a new drive sub for the Mega Drill, and it has to be a very specific length, which required that I hollow out a hollow section of 4140, which had a 185mm hole in the center, and I've got to get all the way in there 800mm deep. The bars that we have in the shop, we've already got a few big ones. We've got the Beast, we've got Tiny, but see the Beast peaks out at 475, which is about 18 inches, Tiny 620, which is about 2 feet. We've got to go nearly 3 feet deep with this. Hence, can you do it? The answer is, yeah, I think so. Give me a minute. Now, I don't have time to go and order an anti-vibration bar because one, the Hulk's not really set up for that anyway, our big green Megabore. So I've got to think to myself, what steel do I have lying around this yard that might actually work for it? And fortunately, we had a bunch of railway axles that were being used for dead weight for one of the smaller Mega Drills. They had to weight the drill head down. They actually slotted them in to the back of the drill head. But I knew there was a few sitting up the back, so Teddy and I went and had a little look, and yep, we had 3 spares. So I think 3. So we brought that back in, cut it, milled it, turned it, got it all ready to go, and today we're going to be testing it out as we get this drive stem for the drive sub for the Mega Drill ready. So anyway, let's get cracking. Just got him out of there. So getting things in the Hulk is usually a game of tandem overhead cranes. Got to get creative. Just everything's so bloody heavy and big. So just put a pipe through there so that we can lift it up and position it all the way through. All right, we'll get it where it's good. It's going to be a bit tight, but as long as it's grabbing, it's not going anywhere. And then we'll try out the big boy. Oh yeah. The bar is in tight. The big boy's ready to go. This is clamped down very tight. The back setup, we had a little challenge, I'll show you.
I've got to get creative sometimes. So the billet actually didn't reach the rear jaws. So all I've done is these are a tapered like knock-in. So those, you can see there, we've knocked them in fairly hard, but not too hard because I've got to get them out. And then just clamped around here. So that's not going anywhere now. That's not going anywhere. We've changed the gears in the back. Thankfully, we now have the correct gear set, which we haven't had up until today, so that I can get the proper feed rate, so that I actually know it's not the mystical Hulk with God knows what feed rate now. I can actually pick them correctly. So we're going to run at 100 RPM to begin with, so I'll change that in a sec, which is about 50 to 60 meters a minute. And I'm going to run on our feed here. So you see your feeds. This one here is for if we're cutting that direction. This lot of numbers here is if I'm cutting that direction. So I've picked to start with CFJ1. So 1 is actually significantly faster than 9 on each setting. So this is the mid-range setting, 0.14 millimeters per revolution, or if I kick the overdrive gear in, it'll then jump straight to 0.2. So just see how that goes. If that's too slow, then I'll knock it down to AFJ7, which will be 0.198 or 0.281. Just for those that like the details. Beautiful. Let's do it, big boy. Ooh. You can see it here. This is going to be a pain in the ass. So it's dialed in perfectly on the outside, which it needs to be, but the inner is often not great. So we're going to have to start this with an interrupted cut. Elliptical shit. Vaya con Dios, hermano mío. Good luck, little buddy. Oh man, let's do it. All right, I'm just going to test my direction of feed. So when I pull this lever up, that should move that way. Yep, we're in business. This is the lever I was talking about. So if I hit that down, it'll go 1.42 times the speed, which correlates up here. So currently, it'll hit me from 0.148 millimeters per revolution to 0.210. So that's what all that means. Anyway, I could be procrastinating. Let's just do it. I'm going to slow it down a bit. It's just not much, but enough that I don't. I'm just going to go 62 RPM. It's slow, but just that first cut, that's just pretty evil. Well, that's too slow. Go to 76. That feels a bit better. Yeah, we'll give that a go anyway. Just for the first pass. Oh shit, that's out of round. That is moving. Deflecting a little even though it's this big. insert looks pretty good. Still an elliptical cut, which is going to make it pretty average. Taking off a bit of the dust. I'm going to stick to 2mm cut again, see how this cleans up. The depth we went in was 881 mils. That's not bad. Good job, big fella. All right, let's see how it cuts this time. See how it goes, wish me luck. It's got a bit of vibration, but I can handle it. It's just because of the interrupted cuts. It has got a little bit of vibration in it. It's just because, I'll show you. Anyway, we'll stick a bit of this around there. Just for an experiment, I'm going to slow down the RPM, see what happens. Go to 62. See if it makes it better or worse. I'm going to go slightly deeper in depth of cut. Insert's still fine, thankfully. And just see what this does. I might have to speed it up a little. It's got to play with it. It's already been vandalised. Badonkadonk. I don't know what to call this thing yet. Big Boy, Mad Max, Badonkadonk. I don't want to call it that. We'll find out by the end, see how it goes. Almost through the interruption, but yeah, you can see where it's going to be a problem there. Not looking forward to that. Still a little bit grumbly. But by increasing the depth of cut and engaging my little increase in feed lever, it's actually cutting better now. So I was a bit hesitant to hit that lever, but it's actually taken out the vibration largely. Can't leave it alone for 2 seconds, it seems. So we've got Big Boy, Badonkadonk, Mad Max. You guys let me know in the comments. It's a good name for this big railway axle. I don't mind Big Boy, based on the Union Pacific's largest ever steam locomotive. Considering it's a railway axle, I thought that was pretty cool. Could call him Bob, big old boy. Badonkadonk, which was the first bit of graffiti. It's pretty funny. Mad Max. Well, it is a mad idea. It's definitely the maximum. I'm going to hang off a tool post. Anyway, let's see who gets the most votes or someone that comes up with a better one. A little bit crumbly. Believe it or not, that little insert is holding up nicely. Good job, little tool. Good job. Making some progress now. Let's take another cut. Right. This is going to be his first full cut, so same thing. I'll go for a 2.5mm depth of cut. Let's see how he goes, hey? 2.5 per side. So there you go, big fella. Still a little bit odd, but we'll see. Because I'm not a total savage, I am going to index the insert. I just don't want one giving away in there, and I'm not running any kind of coolant or cutting fluid. I'm running, it's a DNMG 150408. If I get too much vibration, I'll swap to a DCMT, but I get 4 goes at these, so it's holding up pretty well so far. We'll index you and carry on, buddy. Big boy, that's better. Bit more feed settling down. Sometimes it's the opposite of what you think. More feed. So it's chipping nicely. Sporadically getting a little bit of vibration, but I find if I just increase the feed and decrease it, it gets it out of there. It's a 2.5 mil depth of cut. I might have to back it off to 2 just because of how far back we are, but I might try a 3, we'll just see. Might increase the speed, I'll just play around with it. Sometimes that's all you can do. Yeah. So we're still on. We're still on 76 RPM. CFJ1, which is I'm currently on 0.21 millimeters per revolution right there. I was on 0.148 when it started vibrating, but just cranking down my little overdrive lever seemed to have solved the problem. It's almost counterintuitive. You'd be tempted to back off sometimes, but you actually need to just send it. Anyway, if you have done work like this and you were in my shoes, I would love to know what you would do differently. See, a big part of this channel is not so that I can show you how amazing my work is, because it's honestly not. I'm just an average guy, or average bloke over here in Australia, being given really big stuff and being told to figure it out, which is exactly what I do. But there are so many people in the world running big stuff, bigger than what I do, super heavy I should call it, but your input is always gratefully received. If you've done work bigger than this, what insert would you use? I know an anti-vibe bar would be awesome, but the best part about this thing was the cost, but I built it in a day. About a day. I know that on some of David Wilkes' videos, he will have a like a piece of wood almost in there. That's pretty clever. I didn't really have the time to make that for this. I just sort of went, well, we'll go in, and I'm not running any coolant either. And it was also elliptical, which wouldn't have helped. But I know that is a solution for this application. I think we're going to get there all right. Bloody hot today, like 39 degrees Celsius. Nice and breezy in the shop though, thank God. finally indexed out from, swapped out from whatever insert this was to a Kennametal one. So it's an 08 nose radius. I wouldn't have minded an 04, but anyway, I'll make do with what I got. This seems to be cutting a lot smoother than that insert. So I think these, we just had a packet of like old ones from a long time ago. I don't know. We have an insert cupboard full of random stuff, but these are pretty good. Settle down. Better. Just giving me a bit of grief as it gets further in there. It's been very much a game of trial and error here. Just when I think I've got it right, start to play up. So I don't want to jinx myself, but let's see how we go. So far so good, only another 800 odd mil to go. That's cutting beautifully now. So the one thing you'll see me often with just a hand on here feeling for vibration. So I'm listening to it, feeling it, and also watching here, because if an insert goes, it'll start wanting to push the bar back out. So if that's not moving, if it's not vibrating and I can't hear it, we're good. That's gone pretty good so far. That's Bowser. Bowser. Bowser and Diesel. Diesel! Come here, buddy. Oh! They're getting big.
Yeah.
Go with Magnus. Cut and sweet. Hey, buddy. Just come in to check to see if we got the job done, eh? Just thought I'd have a little look. This is that first insert. You can see how it just takes a nick in the corner of it and all of a sudden it wants to vibrate. We'll have a look at the other side. Same deal. See on the edge there. Same on that one. Yeah, that one wasn't so great at all. Have a look at the other one. This is the Kennametal one that I ran harder, so you can see that started to vibrate, as you can imagine, terribly. As did that. Just one little nick in the corner there. And then it just wants to push the tool in and it'll start vibrating for sure. Look at the other corner. I think I've still got one fresh corner left on this insert. We'll have a look. Well, that one's not it. That one's munted. And that is still a fresh corner, which I will use. So these inserts, you get 4 corners, laughing. Put him in and run that corner. Right there. Lovely. You're not escaping work, little buddy. Come on. Chop, chop.
We did attempt to run coolant. Sorry, buddy. There's no room, just no room. You entirely.
Wasn't me.
I knew we had something somewhere. So this is just all, I don't throw much out. This is all just old hard hydraulic line that's been rescued. So I'm going to fashion some of this into a coolant hose. Let's give it a go. And all I've done is brazed on the same fitting that we use for everything. Onto that, I'm going to bend up this. It's a bit of an it's pretty dodgy. It'll get the job done.
Oh, nothing screams professional like zippy ties and rubber bands. I'm just going to get the oxy out and bend that exactly to where I want it, but it'll work. See, I couldn't put this on before at the start just because there was no room, like there's no hole. What I may do, if this improves everything dramatically, I may in the bar just mill a little area for one of these to sit, or somehow get it in there. I'll think about it a bit more. If you've got any ideas, let me know the best way, but I don't want to make the bar any larger, because when I go to put it back in, I have to take this off for the first couple of cuts anyway. But we should, for the final 2 or 3 cuts, be able to go a bit deeper and preserve some insert life. It's actually not looking too bad though. Oh, now we're ready to give it a whirl. That will do just nicely. She ain't pretty, but she's pretty good. I've knocked a bit of a bung in the back there as well, so that hopefully we can contain most of the coolant inside the ID chamber there. Anyway, let's see how we go. Hopefully we can just go a bit harder. All right, so with coolant, I've increased the RPM to 100. We've increased our feed to 0.24 or 0.337 on overdrive gear. So we're on AFJ 4, you can see there. That's cutting like a dream now. This whole video is playing with feeds and speeds and seeing what works. That's currently 2 mil depth of cut, 100 RPM, which is about 60 meters a minute, and 0.25 currently, but I can overdrive it to 0.33. Pretty good. That is just hooking along beautifully now. Really nice. Even gonna lie, things do get pretty bush mechanic around here from time to time. Like, we've just got to do what we've got to do to get the job done. So, like in an ideal world, I'd have a cross slide tool holder that clamps onto a nice big anti-vibration bar and have a lot of time to plan the job. In heavy duty land, we turn a railway axle into a boring bar, do it in a day and get the whole thing out in 3. So you've got to do what you've got to do some days, but that's honestly half the fun. Looks like a go. There is no vibration in that at all now, with the addition of some cutting fluid, a little bit faster and a good feed. Geez, that cutting fluid makes a difference, my lord. Suppose it is like shaving dry, no fun. Worked at about 25 mil off it, so an inch. We'll flip it over, finish it off, and then off to the CNC for the next video. Good job, big boy, good job. Or other guy, Mad Max, Badonkadonk, don't know what your name is yet, we'll figure you out. All right, we have made the executive decision to throw the bar into the mill
put a little tiny cut along here so that we can lay the coolant pipe for when we're flipping it over. So whilst Willy is facing off that billet and putting a little chamfer on the inside there. By the way, big shout out to Willy, probably the only first year apprentice in Australia who's working on an 11-ton Megabore. Bloody good help, Willy, I tell you what. Going to be a phenomenal tradesman. But so we're going to put a little run along here while he does that, and then I can lay that dodgy coolant pipe in there. I'll worry about fixing it in permanently later, but so that when we flip it over, I can go straight in with coolant, because it just cut so much better. Anyway, you live and learn. Let's knock this out. Zippy ties and rubber bands. Good job, buddies. This is our finest work. I'll show you the back. Why not? It actually come up beautiful. Anyhow, good luck, my little friend. Let's knock this half out. No vibration, and we'll have a look at the finish. Final pass. All done. Let's have a look. Well, bloody hell. That came out way better than expected. Look at that, all the way. Well done. Dead set, that would put a horn on a jellyfish. Well, I'm really happy with how that turned out. The finish is mint. It actually, with like when you run your hand on the inside there, you can barely tell where the two passes meet up, so magic. Cutting data, the final that worked was 2mm depth of cut, 105 RPM, 0.25mm feed, and it was just magic. Now, running with coolant made a huge difference, as you could imagine. On the first half, we didn't do it for the first few passes, and it did create some issues. We were breaking a lot of carbide, so that's when we made the decision, right, let's fashion up some cutting fluid for this, even though just taking that milled pass out, it just made a whole difference in how the bar cut. So it was really good. The finishing pass was 1mm depth of cut, which is typical of how I run things in the shop anyway. This big fella here is coming out of the Megabore over into the big CNC, and I've got to make a pin-to-pin connection for this gigantic drive sub. So if you're new to the channel and you've recently subscribed, let me know in the comments where you are tuned in from. I get such a kick out of knowing where you guys are tuned in and watching from. And so next week, you're going to get to see me throw this into Hal the big CNC, and we are going to turn this into something very, very beautiful and bloody big too. Anyway, that's it from me, guys. I will catch you in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bet you never thought when you were cruising around at Thomas the Tank Engine that you'd end up with another life, hey? I wonder where on it, I just wonder how much of the world that bloody railway axle's seen, and this is where its retirement is. Perpetually with the Hulk. Life takes us in mystical places, and true for me, probably you too. Teddy, what you got? Let's have a look. Have you got a new pair of overalls? Oh, you want to, should we pull them out and have a look? Oh, a new bigger pair. Whoa, they're big, aren't they? Just like you. You reckon you should hop in these ones, Teddy?
I need it on.
Need it on? We'll go put them on, hey? Good job, bud. In there. Let's go try them on. Come on. All right, these ones are definitely grown out. Hey, show us your overalls, mate. Show me your overalls.
Hello.
Hello. Show me your overalls, mate.
Hello.
Hello. Where's your new overalls? Show Daddy. Mate, they are big boy overalls. Look, you got extra pockets now. Look, look, look. Look down here. You got a pocket down on the side. You can put things in it. Look. You got extra pockets now like Daddy. Mate, they are for a big boy. Looking pretty handsome, mate. Grab your bag. Come on, bud. Back to work. Can I have the overall bag? Thank you. Let's go. Hold Daddy's hand. Who's that? That's Battle Kong. You fixing him for Daddy? Battle Kong's done a hard day's work, hey? Thanks, mate. Good job. Fix him too? Thanks, buddy. And TikTok. Oh, good job, mate.